Manchester United can use Dan Ashworth to land a generational midfield transfer. Dan Ashworth is currently on gardening leave as Man United try to bring him to Old Trafford. For 2 successive seasons now, Newcastle and Manchester United have been on a par with each other. Last season, the 2 clubs were competing for Champions League places and both won them, with the Magpies' 4th place finish viewed as a major overachievement while United finishing in 3rd was just above expectations. This season, both have slipped to 7th and 8th respectively, with managers Erik Ten Hag and Eddie Howe quick to cite injuries as the prime reason for their struggles. But Newcastle are still given far more credit than United. Whether you agree or disagree with that depends on your view of the cash injection that's given the Tyneside club a helping hand in recent years, as well as the mismanagement of United on and off the pitch. What seems certain is that United will become better run in the boardroom and at executive level in the coming years, thanks in no small part to new co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS. One of their first moves has been to hire Newcastle's Dan Ashworth as sporting director, with INEOS even willing to undergo a complex and expensive process to prize him away from St James' Park. Ashworth's arrival at Old Trafford has been delayed due to such complications, but he will waste little time going to work when he finally does come through the doors. The new-look recruitment team led by Ashworth and Jason Wilcox will be tasked with modernising United's transfer process. For too long they've lagged behind rivals in the transfer window, and it's time for United to boast the best in class. Signing a Newcastle player, then, will hardly be the most revolutionary of moves for Ashworth to encourage. But in Bruno Guimaraes, there is a player who could transform United in the same way his partial namesake Bruno Fernandes did 4.5 years ago. There have been murmurs that, due to the financial fair play restrictions, Newcastle could be forced to sell a key asset this summer, with Guimaraes touted for a possible exit. The Brazilian was seen crying on the pitch at St James' Park after Newcastle's final home game of the season, and many interpreted this as an indication of his forthcoming departure. Eddie Howe, however, denied claims that Guimaraes was bidding farewell to the Toon Army after the full-time whistle. Did Bruno wave goodbye? I don't think it's a wave goodbye, said Howe. I think Bruno does that many times. But it can be interpreted in a way if people watching decided that's the case. I hope not. He's integral to what we're doing and we're desperate to keep him. Despite Howe's protestations, it seems likely that Guimaraes will move on this summer, with the vultures circling around the 26-year-old. The Brazilian is such a talent that he'll surely have the pick of clubs, and United won't necessarily be at the front of the queue, given they don't have top European football to offer. This is where Ashworth's pull may come in, though. Having previously worked with Guimaraes at Newcastle, you can imagine the former Brighton and England guru selling the United dream to Guimaraes. He plays in a position where United are in desperate need of authority, a midfield general to help them keep the ball and control games. Guimaraes does all that and possesses the kind of bite and work ethic that a central midfielder for United requires. He's got the lot. The prospect of him playing alongside Kobbie Mainoo is a mouth-watering one. He wouldn't come cheap, but United might just have help on hand to lure him to Old Trafford this summer. It could be a transformative addition in an area that is a big priority. Manchester United hatch Rasmus Højlund exit plan as £80 million fee demanded for priority. Man United's summer transfer window is expected to kick off sooner rather than later, after finishing 8th in the Premier League. Manchester United could include striker Rasmus Højlund in their attempt to sign Victor Osimhen from Napoli in the summer transfer window. That's according to football agent Andrea D'Amico, who claims a swap deal including the Denmark international is feasible. Osimhen has been linked with a move to the Premier League for some time and is certain to leave Napoli this summer. United were previously said to be out of the running for Osimhen's signature after signing Højlund from Atalanta last summer. However, D'Amico has suggested a swap deal could be completed to bolster Erik Ten Hag's attacking options. The future Osimhen? It's difficult to say now, we're in May and it's not a small deal, so we'll have to wait, he said. He speaks English. The Premier League is the most important championship in the world. He doesn't go to Barcelona and Real Madrid, and if he doesn't go to PSG or Bayern either, he will only be left with the Premier League. Osimhen Højlund exchanged with United? It's feasible. Manchester United respects the characteristics where Osimhen could play. In short, it's a plausible scenario. Elsewhere, Everton have reportedly informed United that they will receive no discount for Gerard Branthwaite. According to Team Talk, the Toffees are standing firm by their initial valuation of £80 million for the defender. Branthwaite has emerged as a priority transfer target for Sir Jim Ratcliffe this summer. There was hope that Everton's financial problems could see them accept a cut price offer for their player of the season. However, the former Carlisle United player isn't expected to be allowed to leave for any less than £80 m. Man United target Raphael Varane replacement with dream FFP transfer as swap deal proposed. Manchester United are expected to conduct an overhaul of the playing squad this summer. The Manchester United rumour mill is well underway, and the number of players linked with a move to Old Trafford is increasing each day. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is expected to oversee a hectic first summer at the club after United finished 8th in the Premier League. Should they lose in the FA Cup final on Saturday, then the club will be without any European football for next season. Despite the uncertainty over Erik Ten Hag's future, United are expected to start their summer transfer business sooner rather than later. The budget is expected to be tight for incomings, meaning there's a reliance on player sales. Varane replacement boost. United have reportedly entered the race for Fulham centre-back Dusan Adarabioyo. Ten Hag's team has been desperate for new blood in defence for some time now following the number of injury concerns in the position. Lisandro Martinez, Harry Maguire, and Raphael Varane have all missed large portions of the campaign. United may struggle to land their preferred targets once the summer transfer window opens due to financial fair play (FFP) concerns. Reports have claimed that around £100 million will be available for new transfers, with player sales vital. According to BBC Sport, Adarabioyo is on their radar ahead of the expiry of his contract at Craven Cottage. The 26-year-old will become a free agent on June 30th, and his services are highly contested, with Newcastle interested. Men Sport says, this is the sort of deal that Man United should be looking at completing this summer. Amid the uncertainty over Ten Hag's future at the club, signing a player with no transfer fee just makes sense. Given the tight budget at Old Trafford, strengthening a priority position with Premier League experience holds particular appeal. Adarabioyo has been linked with moves to bigger teams for some time, and there's no surprise United have shown interest, with Dan Ashworth arriving at the club after the defender was identified as a target by Newcastle. It's a financial decision that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has to make, but with Varane's departure confirmed already, they may not have a better chance to secure a smart deal like this again. Fernandes swap deal. Manchester United have offered Bruno Fernandes and one other player to Barcelona to sign Ronald Araujo this summer, according to reports in Spain via Football 365. As mentioned above, United are keen to improve their defence this summer, and Araujo is reportedly a priority ahead of the transfer window. The Uruguay international is reportedly one of the main candidates to leave Barca, who themselves are struggling financially. It's understood that the Spanish giants will study a bid if it's in the region of £76 million. Winger Antony has been earmarked as a potential option to include in the deal. Men Sport says, now this is the opposite to what I'd expect Man United to be doing this summer. Araujo has been a world-class performer for Barcelona, but to lose Fernandes and another player isn't worth it. Barcelona may be tempted to offer a cash offer for the defender, but with a valuation of over £75 million being touted, it's hard to see any movement in this rumour. Sir Jim Ratcliffe will be keen to sign these high profiles in the future, but this summer, it's a deal they should stay well away from.